Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Debut Buddies.
It is.
Yay!
I'm your buddy, Nate.
I'm your buddy, Kelly.
I'm your buddy, Chelsea.
Crushed it.
And
Yeah.
each week, I edit them to make them sound like they're not talking over each other.
Thank you.
This is a podcast about firsts. It's a fortnightly podcast about firsts, in fact. So, hey, we haven't seen you for a couple weeks. You look great.
Yeah, did you get a haircut?
Yeah,
What's up?
I like that sweater. It looks like you've been apple picking. Have you been apple picking?
Oh, a glow, brisk, windswept, rosy cheeks.
Enjoying the crisp air.
Getting that Christian Girl Autumn / Han Solo season on.
I was telling a friend about this podcast, and he did not know what the word Fortnite meant.
Oh.
Even the video game.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
was like, what?
Popular video game Fortnite. If you want to
Frank?
sponsor the podcast at Debut Buddies.
That's us.
We happen every 2 weeks so people can play your game the entire time in between.
Yep. And is this like a listen-y, talky type game? Can they listen to us while they play, or is it like a communicate with your brother and stuff?
I think it depends if they want to slur at each other or not. You can probably do it
Oh.
with your own with fun headphones in instead of people talking to you at, because it's not collaborative, I don't think, is it? I've never played Fortnite,
I've
but
never
I know
played.
that
I
there
believe
are
it's a battle royale.
dances. There are Fortnite.
There are
dances.
dances. There are skins that people purchase.
It was the place where they announced the plot to the most recent Star Wars movie.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
because the Emperor appeared on Fortnite, and that was how they like led into the idea that the Emperor was back in the third movie.
I mean, it is the highest streamed game on Twitch.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
gonna say this is kind of fitting to what we're talking about today. What I don't want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
you
it.
can.
Yeah,
I'm not the arbiter of the
not a
pace.
I know,
secret.
I know. So yeah, I think we told you guys last week, fortnight ago, that we're talking about Garfield.
Yay!
And I'm excited to talk about not necessarily the first Garfield strip, but a lot of stuff around it. So
Yeah, ditto.
But there's a lot going on in this first Garfield strip. We have to be honest, right? It is doing some heavy lifting.
There is more than I thought there was.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your guys' experience with Garfield? Because mine was pretty limited.
Yes.
Like I had to Google a lot of questions about Garfield.
I have a surprisingly deep history with Garfield.
You know, I thought
Oh.
you must have when you suggested this. I was like, he's coming with a story.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, I don't have a lot. This isn't going to be life-changing or super exciting, but
You donated
as a
kidney?
kid, I
Oh.
bought, I donated a kidney
To
to a cat that ate lasagna.
I
And
definitely
so-
thought it went the other way. I thought for sure he donated a kidney to you.
Not with, I mean, with all
that be
the
worth
the heavy calories he's eating, like there's stones in those kidneys, kid.
Well, but
I don't
maybe
want
when he
those
was-
kidneys.
Maybe when he was younger, I was just thinking about doesn't Dick Cheney have like a baboon heart?
I mean, he's got to have something bionic
I think
at this
wait,
point.
is he still alive?
Oh no, is he dead? Did he
Yeah.
die?
I think
Oh,
he might have
he-
died like recently.
no, Dick Cheney's still alive.
Oh, is he?
Kane is dead.
Yeah, John McCain's definitely dead.
McCain. I was gonna say Michael Caine, but that's not true. Michael
He's
Caine's
still alive. Don't curse him. Knock on wood.
Yeah, Michael Caine's still
I'm
with us.
struggling with the words.
And so
today.
is Dick Cheney,
Oh.
81
yeah, I was
years
gonna say, I
young.
think Dick Cheney's
Well,
still
that baboon
going.
heart is going.
He'll outlive us
strong.
all.
I don't know if this, I
Probably.
think that this might be one of those things that I conflated. I think that maybe there was a movie where somebody got a baboon heart and Dick Cheney got a normal heart, but I'm never
What?
going to Google it.
Was it the movie Vice?
Well, if you Google it, you keep your facts to yourself. This is my
Okay,
conspiracy
okay.
theory. No, I think it was called like Love and Baboon Hearts or something. I don't know. I don't
What?
remember.
Based
I heard
on
about this
the,
on a podcast 10 years ago. I don't remember.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez book.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You had
Apparently
a
this
real
has been
story to
looked
tell.
up pretty
Yeah,
often.
probably by me. Twice a year since 2012.
Oh, I want to tell you all about this movie.
You're the reason why when people go to Google, that little drop down search, the first question is, how does Dick Cheney's baboon heart work?
Yep, that's all me.
I have a lot of history with Garfield as far as there are lots of releases of Garfield books that are sort of like anthologies that collected a period of time. So like the first one is titled Garfield at Large, and it came out in 1980. But there's all sorts of things. Garfield tips the scales. Garfield loses his feet. Garfield makes it big. Garfield rolls on. Garfield out to lunch. Garfield food for thought.
So
Garfield swallows his pride.
About Garfield?
Yeah, because that's the depth of, especially the first comic. That seems to be the depth of it. Garfield worldwide. Garfield rounds out. Garfield chews the fat. Garfield goes to waste. And so, and here's the thing. I am sure that at my dad's house, these are still there.
Oh yeah.
Or they might have got it donated or something. I had like 30 of these things.
Oh my God.
Because I think they also might have been Scholastic newsletter items at one point or another.
They must have been, yeah.
But I would just plow through those because I loved reading Garfield comics. I loved reading like Calvin and Hobbes. So I just like went through all of these things like crazy. And I don't know, I guess I have like positive feelings about Garfield on the whole, but I like him a lot more as a meme than I did as his intended purpose.
And what's the like Garfield meme content? Or do you mean meme in the like more traditional sense of the word? Not like an internet meme, but like
I mean like his meme life now where there's Friday Again, GARFIE Baby. Have you ever seen that?
What? No.
It's John's head kicked back and he's screaming and it's this Friday Again, GARFIE Baby.
Because... and this is comic style or is this live action or
this is the comic. It is the comic.
Friday Again,
because I have a couple of friends who post this every Friday, and there are Facebook pages and Instagram accounts that only post that. It's like the only pictures of Chief O'Brien Facebook group or whatever. There's that stuff. There's also just I love Garfield doesn't hate Mondays, he hates capitalism. I'm down for that. I feel like Garfield has strangely sort of transcended what Garfield is to be something bigger and weirder.
I think that is like provably true by my knowledge of Garfield, because I never watched any of the media, I never read the comics, and yet I know what I assume is all there is to know about Garfield. Or no, that's not fair, because like I said, I did have to Google some questions that I had. But I mean, like, hates Mondays, loves lasagna, is always sending one of the other animals to Abu Dhabi. Normal?
Yeah. Always wants to mail Normal to Abu Dhabi.
And then there's Yodi. What's his name? Odie. And he's dumb. Sorry, I just always am low level thinking about Smooth Yoda. So that sneaks out sometimes. And then John is a weirdo dork. Is that right?
Yeah. Sounds appropriate.
Yeah. He's not so much in the first strip, but he definitely turns into a super weirdo loser. There's a Garfield comic where it is very clearly stated that John has drank
I know.
Dog
this is
semen?
what I was going to bring up. Yeah, he drinks dog jizz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's that one. There's also there was a big thing on Steam about the game Garfield Kart, which was a sort of poorly reviewed kart racer game that was with Garfield characters. Okay. But a lot of people went in and bombed it positively.
Good.
So it has just this insane number of hilariously good reviews about this game that's everybody says is pretty mediocre, but
not everybody. Have you seen the reviews?
They're loving on Garfield Kart. Yeah. Aww. It was so much so that when I was looking for one as a non-Nintendo owner, I was like, well, maybe I'll give Garfield Kart a try. I did not, but I probably still will at some point because, come on.
Why not?
I gotta drink my own Kool-Aid here. And not
I love it.
Dog jizz.
Not dog jizz. I did read a quote from an interview with Jim Davis where they did ask him about the dog jizz. Did you guys see this?
No.
Didn't he say no? That wasn't what
he did say no, and here's what I have to say. Jim Davis is a liar. That was jizz. No, he was like, yeah, I grew up on a farm and we fed these high protein shakes to our cows to help them have healthy calves. No, 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 no. No, you can't walk this back. Like, you made a jizz joke in the newspaper 20 years ago, and now we're calling you on it. Like, sorry.
We just need to tell him to own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, lean in, Jim.
But he wants to stay syndicated, and he's got he's towing that middle line. He's not Dilbert Guy, because Dilbert Guy's gone full alt-right Nazi fascism, and no good. You know, Jim Davis is like, no, you know what? I still just want to write about, like, what if this cat's lazy, guys?
We do respect it.
My background with Garfield is not as extensive. I did used to read them when I was younger, whenever I stayed at my grandfather's house, and then he would always give me the comics in the morning to read. Nice. But I wasn't overly attached. I feel like I was overly attached to, I don't know, Zitz.
Yeah, Zitz was good.
Yeah, things like that. But
Get Fuzzy, great comic.
I was gonna say, there was also a meme that I saw that was like John minus Garfield. Yeah. So it's all the posts with just John alone and no Garfield. So it's like he's talking to himself, which I guess is real because Garfield can only communicate with him as well.
Because Garfield only communicates through thought bubbles. So it's always been left up to whether John actually knows what Garfield is saying or not. Now, if you look at the cartoon Garfield and Friends, it seems pretty clear that John does not understand. That John is just like, hey, Garfield, whatever. And then Garfield's just kind of a sarcastic little asshole. But that's the joke, is he's like, hey, I don't care about anything. And John's like, I've got stuff. I got a date. I have some kind of job, which is not cartoonist forever, even though in the first Garfield strip, he's a cartoonist. He's an author surrogate.
Yeah. So this was one of the things I had to Google because I was not clear. I have read more Garfield minus Garfield than I have actual Garfields. And so I was like, I don't know. I guess I never understood the joke of that. because I was unclear if John could ever understand Garfield or if we were just removing the text bubbles to like exaggerate the absurdity. I don't know. I did not know. I had to Google it, even though it is clearly in thought bubbles. But I like have this problem with graphic novels today too. I just read the words and don't look at the pictures, so I miss so much, including the giant thought bubble.
When it's convenient for the writer, the human can understand what they're saying, right? They will be able to figure it out somehow. Whether it's because he's waving his arms frantically and John just magically guesses exactly what he's thinking because you need to move the plot forward. Yeah. That's what I guess the joy is that it's cute when a weirdo is talking to an animal that's there and he's like, I'm depressed because I'm a loser. And the cat's there and the cat's like, feed me. Right. And that's the joke. But at least it's like, okay, well, this guy's sad and the cat just wants food. And that's funny because we've all been there.
I'm there right now. Shut up, mouse.
But yeah, you take the cat away, and then it's just an unhappy person talking to themselves, which we've all been there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I have a question. Nate, you read most of this in those collections.
Oh yeah.
Chelsea, you read it in the newspaper. Was it in color in the newspaper, or
only on
was
Sunday?
That like only Sunday?
Sundays, yeah.
Sundays color. Okay, so what was the like syndication of this like? Was it being like double printed like online and in the newspaper, or I'm sorry, I mean like now is it in
okay? I like how I was like online when I was
in 1978.
Yeah, definitely online.
The early internet devoted entirely to Garfield. It was Usenet, NASA, and Garfield. That's it.
Because it's still going, right? It's still going.
Yeah, it's still active as far as I know. I haven't read a new one in a long time. I assume it's one of the small handful of continually syndicated comics, though. Because I know it's still in like USA Today, and USA Today only has like 6 at this point, and I'm sure the scant number of local papers that still exist only have a few left. Most local online papers don't do the comics anymore, I don't think, because there's a website that aggregates all those syndicated comics on it, and I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. But you could go there and read Under the Hedge or this or you know, whatever. Alley-oop.
Wait, so are you like a big comics guy? I don't know any of these.
Oh, I mean, I used to read the comics every single day in the newspaper. Like when I was growing up, we got the Rocky Mountain News, and I would read the comics while I ate my cereal, and that was like a thing I did. And then I had the Garfield books in addition because there was so much back catalog. I mean, I only could start reading them in like 1987 or 88. So it had been going for 10 years before I even got a whiff.
So was it a daily comic? And is it still?
Yeah, we're 5 days, 6, 7 days a week, I guess. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, because you would get one every single day of the week, Saturday, and then the Sunday one was in color. And often the Sunday one would be big. It would be like a double wide, or it could even be like almost a whole page.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you get a lot of things where like Garfield's dancing or whatever. There'd be a lot of just wasted panels where, you know, the cat's kind of spinning around. And then at the end, he would slip an Odie slobber, and then he'd be like, "You stupid dog."
So was Odie in it from the beginning?
I don't think from the beginning here. Okay. I always remember
not
Odie.
From the first one.
Yeah. I feel like I read on the wiki about it that Odie was not introduced until maybe like 1980, or at least the name of the dog changed a couple of times.
Oh, this is right. Oh, this is something that I did read about. So the first comic that we read was like this was like the reboot of the original comics. So the original comics by Jim Davis was called John, and John was the main character. And then in 78, it got rebooted with Garfield as the main. And a few years ago, a YouTuber like found the original John comics and like talked to librarians and uploaded them all and like restored some of the art. And the first comic of John is essentially identical to the first comic of Garfield. Like it's the same thing. Hi, I'm John. I'm a cartoonist. This is my cat Garfield. Hi, I'm Garfield. This is my cartoonist John. Our only thought is to entertain you. Feed me. Same for John and Garfield.
When you got a good idea, you got a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, did he? And so that one ran for 2 years.
Well, I mean, he obviously pivoted because it was only in 1978 when men who solicit prostitution were called John. So he's like, oh shit, I can't call the comic John anymore because they're going to assume that he's going to fuck this cat.
Never fuck the cat.
No. But I also thought that the background was that he had a comic strip prior, and I thought it was Gnome.
Yeah, so that was the one that predates John.
Gotcha. But John had Garfield in it. It's just that Garfield was not the main character.
That's my understanding. I only read that very first comic. I did not read anymore.
Oh yeah. So Odie was called Spot for a period of time.
Sorry, yeah, that was what I was getting at. Because John had a roommate, or maybe Jim Davis as a human had a roommate, and the human had a dog, and then the character was named after the IRL dog Spot. But then there was another comic featuring a dog named Spot, which I had to stop myself from going down that rabbit hole. I was like, man, is that comic like why we named dog Spot, or does Spot predate that comic? Like, when did we start calling dog Spot?
Well, when did like See Spot Run come out? So in John starts this comic probably at age 27 because he is established to be 29 in a 1980 strip.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like, John's younger than I ever thought he was. I think I always read John as like kind of a late 30s adult male who was desperate
much
for love.
Older than that. Yeah.
You think
I was like 50s for sure. Like we are solidly middle-aged. And then I read something that in maybe the TV show, he's presented as 22.
What?
Yeah.
I did not watch the TV show.
The Garfield show, which was a CGI one that I never watched.
I thought that was the movie. The show was a cartoon, but the movie was CGI.
Well, Garfield and Friends was the cartoon originally, but I think Garfield's show was on like Nickelodeon or something.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's contemporary.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I didn't know that there were two TV shows.
Oh yeah. The Garfield show had 107 episodes, and it ran from 2009 to 2012 on Cartoon Network. But it was originally on France 3. So it's a French Garfield program.
Good.
And it's and honestly, you know what? I'm putting two and two do it to ensemble. C'est cat. That's funny, right? Because 4 is cat. Anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure a French developer made Garfield card. So Garfield just blew up in France. They made a cartoon. They made a CG cartoon of Garfield, and they were like, "We got to capitalize on this for the video game."
Oh, Garfield cart. I see. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, wow, I'm learning so much.
I am too.
I have like so many tabs open with stuff that I'm like, I need to read about this later because this information about Garfield is gonna really come in handy later. Ooh. Did you guys hear about the phones that washed ashore in France on the beach?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For years, they've been washing ashore.
For 35 years.
I definitely had a friend who had a Garfield phone. Because, like, you would, like, the eyes would kind of open when you, like, pick the receiver up off his back. So that way you knew that somebody was on the line. Garfield was looking at you.
I feel like I've seen one in person before. Because when you described that, I had a weird memory like unlock, but I cannot remember who or what it's tied to. Let's bury that again.
You were in a past life, Chelsea. You were a French assassin.
In a past life? Oh.
Can we get the washed ashore ones on like eBay?
Yeah, I was wondering that because I was
just
like, oh, that
drowned
really nice
Garfield phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We can frame it. One of those, what are they, like box frames?
eBay.
Shadow boxes? Shelf? Shadow boxes. We can put it in a shelf on one of those like clear.
Box, yeah.
So there's a BBC article that says that they cracked the mystery of this.
Yes.
I know. I was
situation
so
in 2019.
For like 35 years, there was these Garfield phones that just kept washing up on shore. But it turns out that there was do you want me to not?
Yeah, no, say, right?
It was just a shipping container that was lost at sea that kept producing them. But it seems so much cooler to have just some nefarious person just every now and then be like, I have to go to the middle of the sea and drop these phones.
It is
somebody with like really bad OCD. Like, we have to go do this, and we have to do this right now.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, that's something I want to do.
Imagine if you were stranded on that shipping container that's bobbing in the middle of the ocean, and you have only these Garfield phones. You're like, surely if I send enough of these out, someone will follow the trail of Garfield phones back to me.
That might be what it is, and then they never included that in the article because
they found the ship. So it is still a little bit mysterious because it sank and they found it, but it's like so lodged somewhere that we can't get to it. So the phones are still going to continue washing ashore until we run out of phones in the container.
Oh man, well, we have to go there.
Yeah, I was hoping there was like a scuba diver that would go and he'd be like, "It's that time of the year again, plop plop plop," and just pull them out.
Spring cleaning, time to get the Garfields.
It's in Brittany, so that would be fun.
Let's book our tickets.
Yeah, let's go. They're like, I don't know, between $60 and $80 on eBay, but none of them appear to be the washed ashore ones, and that's what I want.
Are they in a museum? Did somebody put them in a museum? Is that more important? Did they belong in a museum?
Do you think that they...
Are you Indiana Jones now?
Yeah, I always.
They belong in a museum.
We have to have the entire set. We have to have every phone. Otherwise, it's not accurate, and people don't understand the magnitude of this phone excursion.
You're like matching up serial numbers. You're like, okay, we found serial number 1. And
we're still missing the eyelid of this one.
We need 2, 3, and 4.
I think a company should take them and repurpose the casings to make weird cell phones.
Oh, that would be so cool.
You know,
and donate them to like old people. Here's your weird old phone.
There is one. Most of these are like pretty normal cat style phones. Like they are recognizably cats and like
just a normally cat shaped phone.
Yeah, I have to preface that because one of them is absolutely not. The cat is like crap. He's like in loaf mode, like you'd find a cat. But in loaf mode, you know, their faces forward. Not this Garfield, all the way back, eyes facing his spine.
That's great. Unsettling. Oh,
Exorcist Garfield.
I don't care for it. I do not care for it.
Somebody just took lasagna out of the oven for that Garfield, and he's turning around.
So. Or John finally wrung his neck. Sorry.
Oh no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud.
John would sooner drink dog semen than wring Garfield's neck.
Well,
you might be right.
You know, he's already crossed that one off his to-do list. So what's up next, you know?
Done.
Yeah, these are weird.
All of early Garfield is really weird. By the way, too, because it's pretty much all just, hey, you know, this cat's hungry. Like the second Garfield, John gives Garfield a rubber mouse, and then the third panel is Garfield's eating it, and it says it could have used a little salt, right?
So is that weird?
I mean, it's
and
not.
Also,
it's visually weird.
Oh, it's visually weird. Okay, let me pull her up.
They're all like, it's just visually, like the way Garfield is depicted in the early going is so strange.
So, okay.
Especially compared to contemporary Garfield.
Yeah. When I pulled up the first comic, I was like, yeah, this is recognized. It was like Uncanny Valley because I couldn't really remember what John and Garfield looked like. Like I was like, orange cat, got it. Middle-aged man,
got it.
But then looking at the art, I was like, is this right? Is this what they look like? So yeah, the art is definitely, it has evolved a lot over the years.
I think originally, I mean, maybe the new one too. I don't know if it was I tried to do some research and I watched some YouTube videos, but I also read some stuff and I don't know where it is. So I'm not citing my sources or saying that I'm correct in what I'm about to say. Isn't it based off of his like curmudgeon grandfather?
Oh, is it?
So it looks like an old man. And I was like, oh yeah, that totally looks like an old man. But the new version of Garfield looks like a younger old man. And the other one looks like someone who doesn't get up off their chair and like leans back in the recliner and yells things at you from the nope, nobody else's grandpa. And just yells things at you from the other room to be like, come bring me my drink.
Well, like this one from June 27th of 1978, where Garfield sees a roast on the table across from a counter and tries to reach for it. And then in the third panel is stretched between the two spots and just thinks, Garfield, you dummy.
Relatable. This is very cat-like.
Early Garfield is very in that like 70s Fritz the Cat sort of energy where everything's a little ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And contemporary Garfield is like very Disneyfied, right? Like Garfield's eyes are bigger. The whole thing is like, even though Nermal is supposed to be canonically the cutest kitten ever seen, Nermal doesn't look that much cuter than Garfield. Nermal's just smaller, grayer, and has eyelashes.
Well, what makes me think cats are cute is definitely eyelashes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm looking for when I look for a new cat, is eyelashes.
Yeah.
Do cats have eyelashes? Hold on, sorry. I'm now going through No.
I know dogs do. I know the dogs.
Whiskers.
Yeah, dogs do.
Petty.
Yeah. Cats don't have eyelids, do they?
They do. They've got double eyelids.
They squint at you. They glare at you, and it means that they love you. Or that's what I've read. Say. Okay, that's what I've read, but I'm just so concerned that he's just angry at me or annoyed with me all the time.
I think it can mean two things.
Okay, good. It's probably mostly
cats are multifaceted. So I've pulled up a picture of my cat since he won't come over here, and I can't see eyelashes, but I also don't know if it's my resolution. So inconclusive.
It's also hard to differentiate eyelashes from a face covered entirely in fur.
Yeah.
Like if the eyes are open, those lashes are buried into your infinity brows.
He's a
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, I mean, early Garfield's all about fat jokes that are fairly bland, and then later Garfield gets weirder, I guess, but also just sort of the same. I think that's sort of the thing with Garfield is Garfield's always just not liking Monday, wanting lasagna. And then every once in a while, you do get a laugh out loud. John drinks semen. I'm gonna keep coming back to that because it is like it's legitimately funny. Like when you read that, you're like, "Holy fuck! I never knew that existed."
Especially because the gal at the vet who she's like, "Congrats, you're gonna have a healthy brood of puppies or whatever."
Yeah.
And she's like clearly supposed to be like super hot. So John is embarrassed.
Yeah.
Which I think is like why I thought that he was like a weird dork. Because like, why is that the joke?
Oh yeah, no, he's a super weird dork. He's always trying to hit on the vet, and I think there's like a woman in a diner that he also tries. Like, there's always a romantic foil for John that is not interested in him, and that's all he does.
So I just caught sight of what is called the main character in the Garfield strips named Arlene, who appears to be a sexy cat.
What?
Oh, yeah. Arlene is Garfield's girlfriend, right?
Oh.
What about the Abu Dhabi lady? Oh, her neck is very long.
Yeah, she's like part giraffe.
Yeah. Arlene's long and lean. Normal is like a child, and Normal is also a boy.
Oh,
Normal is commonly mistaken as a female cat.
And
that's largely because on Garfield and Friends, the person who voiced Normal was female.
Oh.
But it's always supposed to be like, he's just a cute little boy. Well, I don't know, Garfield. I'm just the cutest thing ever.
But Arlene is fully wearing lipstick. Like, we are sexualizing this cat.
Yeah.
Is this what you meant when you said it was weird?
Yeah. Well, that's yes. It just gets like, and when you get into that Garfield and Friends cartoon, which did either of you ever watch that? That was on. It was on like, I did.
Saturday
I
remember
morning.
There being a sheep.
Yeah, there was a farm-based bee story thing in it. So you had
McDonald.
Yeah,
that's one of his friends, right? Or is it the villain? Or is the sheep the villain?
I don't think the villain. I'm pretty sure the sheep are cool. I think the sheep were part of the regular crew because it was like Lanolin and I can't remember what the boy sheep's name was, but her name was Lanolin, and I remember because I looked up that word to find out what it meant. It's like, what a strange name. And it's like, oh, it's an oil that's in sheep's wool, right?
Yeah, it's I know a lot about lanolin because I knit and have taken a lot of taken a lot of workshops on wool. And I use lanolin soap in my bathrooms because I'm allergic to most traditional soap. It's a glycerin substitute. It is glycerin that I am allergic to, so I use lanolin soap.
The more you know.
The brother's name is Bo Sheep.
Oh, I see.
And you also have Orson the pig, Roy Rooster.
I said we were doing an Animal Farm thing.
You are, yeah. Wade the duck, Booker,
because he wades into the water. I get
Booker is a little chick, and Sheldon also. Booker and Sheldon.
Chelsea.
Oh my god, is this where it's from?
Is this
Maybe
Sheldon?
I did actually. Is this okay? Hold on, I'm gonna Google some things. So I have this horrible thing where I constantly think, okay, I think that maybe no, probably not.
Okay,
I think that Rocko's Modern Life, the character is not named Sheldon, but I constantly call him Sheldon.
We've talked about it on.
And now
are you thinking of Filbert?
Yeah, Filbert.
Yes.
Yeah, Filbert the depressed turtle.
Yeah, he's the cartoon that I most identify with, but for most of my life, I thought his name was Sheldon.
Yeah, who are we thinking of? Because I also remember a turtle named Sheldon.
Well, this could be because I assume that Sheldon has fallen over and not been able to get up, and I think that's what I associate.
So Booker and Sheldon in the Garfield and Friends are two chicks Booker has hatched out of his egg. Sheldon has not. So Sheldon's legs are out, but he's otherwise an egg that walks around.
Oh.
I feel like that's a possibility that I'm getting them confused.
Well,
because right now, if I Google Sheldon and cartoons, it just gives me a lot of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory in cartoon.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that because that's going to lead to some dark places. People doing.
Take a peek at our logo.
Bazinga! I think we now owe them like $1 million.
Yeah, probably.
Can you copyright words like that or trademark words like that?
Probably in the font that they use. I think that's really the only way, right? You have to be able to, because you can trademark like the branding of. So if your store is called like Suds and you sell soap and beer, you got to pick a font that you really like, and then you can trademark Suds in that font.
Oh,
okay, and then if somebody else in your vicinity does that, then you're like, hey, infringement.
Didn't somebody did that with, you know what? This is a bad story. I'm sorry. Somebody did that with Metallica something, and Metallica is notoriously pretty litigious, but the people won.
Oh,
what was it? It was like a church called Saint Anger, or maybe it was like a metallurgy place also called Metallica. I don't remember.
It's just a place where you go to lick metal.
Oh,
Metallica.
Metallica.
Yeah. And so they got cold metal that you can lick if you want to get your tongue stuck. You like that vibe? You like a little danger.
Yeah.
They got hot metal if you're feeling a little like spicy.
They've got spicy metal.
They got spicy metal. They got room temperature metal.
I mean, that's better for your digestion, right?
What metal do you guys most want to lick?
Oh man, mercury looks really tasty, doesn't it?
Is that technically a metal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. It's just liquid at Earth temperature. Yeah.
Is it poisonous?
Very.
Oh, okay. I once broke open a mercury thermometer in my mouth as a child and called poison control, and I said just make sure she didn't swallow any glass.
Oh wow. So they really weren't. They were just like, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like so dangerous that if you had swallowed any mercury,
they'd be like, she's already dead. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's my God. Well, and then we had, because of where it broke, we had mercury like in a little crevice in a table, and I used to poke it because it just stays in a ball, and it would just move along. That was probably not good.
I mean, it's no more dangerous than eating paint chips, really.
I didn't. Do people eat
she's
paint
trying
chips?
to reflect on whether she did that.
Well, the lead paint thing is that children eat paint chips, and so that's why they have to disclose when lead paint's in the house, because adults probably aren't going to. But if you remove that paint, you could.
I thought it was just. Does it not hurt? I just touched my wall because I was concerned about the lead paint in it, and I'm like, is it not bad if you're just near it?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
no.
So if this has lead in it and I lick it, I will die.
No, you just slowly get stupider and stupider. That's all lead paint. Lead poisoning just makes you dumb. Mercury, they
Should
used
I check
to
my water
for
it's
lead.
Probably not in your water.
I mean, it depends what kind of pipe system the municipality you're in has. In China, in like feudal China, they used to administer mercury as a sort of immortality tonic, because mercury does actually prevent your cells from continuing to age. So they believed basically people who got mercury poisoned would be forever young and they would look really good. So people started
mummifying themselves essentially.
Yeah. But so people were like, oh, well, cool. Well, I'll just microdose it. And then they would do that. And then, 15 years later, you'd still look 15 years younger, but you were dead.
But with a silver tinge.
Yeah.
The more you know. Wow.
So lead, not to make this about true crime, but I gotta let my
Garfield loves true crime
colors shine. I'm not gonna hide my light under a bushel. So we all remember that like late 70s and 80s was like hella serial killer times.
Yes, for sure.
And not just serial killers, but like crime as a whole was very high. And there is a theory that is correlated. Well, it's not a theory that it is correlated. It is absolutely correlated to lead in gasoline. And about 25-30 years after we removed lead from gas, crime rates dropped drastically. And so one of the theories is that like lead exposure is like one of the things that like made humans more like aggressive overall, and maybe not even aggressive, but like more impulsive. And so you're just making worse decisions. And I'm gonna get this fact wrong because I am stupid. But in another country, I want to say Saudi Arabia, they only recently removed lead from gas. And so people are like, I cannot wait for 20 years from now when we see if the trend holds. But it wasn't just in America where we've seen that pattern. It's happened in a couple different countries. And I just think that's really fascinating.
Do they have like what is the rate of crime there? Do they have the same kind of baseline?
I don't remember if it was like equivalent. But it wasn't, zero. It wasn't like a comfortable level of
which is to see
crime.
if it drops. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple things about lead and like Karens.
Like
like angry ladies at stores. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Irish stone piles for a second.
What's the theory there? That they
just
drinking lead?
Oh yeah, that there is probably contact with lead paint at some point.
Yeah.
Or lead in construction sites or something.
There's also just like so many city water systems had lead pipes still. Like Denver was just replacing them, and I don't think they're even done yet in like Capitol Hill replacing lead service lines. So it's like they replace the main water line, but they don't replace the line between the old main and the buildings.
Whoa.
And so that old line, like, hey, clean water, oh, lead, you know?
No.
And
but is it like tea? Is it not like steeping long enough in that part? Like, is it okay?
I mean, I think because most of the time when they talk about like lead warnings, it's really dangerous for kids and it's really dangerous for pets, right?
Yeah.
And the elderly, I suppose. But like children can die because it can just cause developmental problems,
right?
And things like that. And pets can die because they're more fragile. Yeah,
they're just little.
It doesn't seem great for the in between though.
No, because you do like you can just basically get like you just get stupider. Like you just make worse and worse decisions. You get less critically thoughtful.
So Mad Hatter, the Mad Hatter comes from like true history where hatters, and it was lead that was used in hat making.
I was pretty sure that they use lead in hats.
That it's either lead or mercury, isn't it?
Is it mercury? Right? Okay, hold on. So stay away from heavy metals. So stay away from Metallica.
Yeah, thank you.
Just trying to loop us around.
That's right.
I was
stay away from Metallica.
Really far.
I was rushing for it.
We should do a first on something metal because we have a lot to say about it. Shockingly,
we've got the basic elements and Garfield. Garfield?
Heavy like a metal. That was my question earlier when you said that it gets weird. Does it ever get like surreal at any point? There's not even like one off. So I got to thinking about creepypastas and the weird ones. Like there's a creepypasta about Squidward. I can't remember if we talked about it. There's one about Peppa Pig. Like there's gotta be Garfield creepypasta out there. And I wonder if it's like truly scary or if it's like a step above, like it just brings it into like a little bit weird.
like that Garfield is Monday,
or like Garfield never existed.
There is an R surreal Garfield on Reddit. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Oh, there's a YouTube called Garfield Creepypasta.
Oh, great.
After this, can we talk about Norm the Gnat? Wait, no, is that right?
What's Norm the Gnat?
Nat. Isn't that his name? Norm with a G.
Oh,
this
Norm
is
the
Jim
Gnat?
Davis's first
Oh,
name?
yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was really funny. Did you guys read any of those?
No.
Oh.
No, yeah, I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's so good. It was like it's about bugs, but they said the bugs weren't relatable. So that's why he created Garfield, was because people like pets. And I was like, I like bugs and I find them horribly relatable. And I found this comic strip horribly relatable. But it's like there's like a fruit fly that only lives, and like his running joke is that he only lives for like a week. So everything he talks about is just about having a short lifespan. But one of them's like he's walking by, and I think Norm, and I feel like I'm saying the wrong name. So if I am, you guys please.
It's Norm.
No,
Nat.
yeah, you're
Norm
right.
Nat.
Yeah.
He's like talking to the fruit fly, and he's like, "Hey, fruit flies only. I know you only live for a week, but how?" He's like, "I'm in a hurry. I have to go." And he was like, "Well, if you only live for a week, there's got to be some like positives." And he says something like, "Well, the divorce rate is really low." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty good." But it's all of them are really good.
And he looks so haggard. I pulled it up too. He looks so tired. He's on like day 6 of 7, you know.
I think I think it's looped around to where I know we said the insects weren't relatable. I think they're so relatable now. I think that one, like I was going through Garfield and I was like, yeah, I feel this, but the Norm the Gnat, I was like, this is kind of darker than Garfield, and I like it. So I love bugs.
There's one from 1973 here that I'm looking at that channels like those Looney Tunes where the cartoonist would erase parts of Daffy Duck. Like a giant pencil eraser comes in to threaten Norm the Gnat because Jim Davis is telling him to like get up there and do something, and then he threatens to erase him. And the last panel, Norm the Gnat is laying on his back on top of a doghouse that looks exactly like Snoopy's.
Yeah.
And he says that tyrant would sell his mother to build a readership, which is like, this is way more clever. Like Garfield is the worst timeline.
But I think that's what, and this was something that we were, unfortunately, I've been talking about in another podcast that Kelly and I are on when we're talking about Evanescence, but in one of the songs, there's a male voice, and she didn't want the male voice in it. And then it kind of talked about, I just had like a long conversation about the purity of art and how much you have to change it to make it consumable. And this feels like Jim Davis had to change so much to make it consumable. And I was like, all of this is so smart and it's so funny. And it just wasn't, no one cared about it. And
because there's only 3 of us who want smart, funny things. And everybody else is like, can the cat just be overweight?
Me the lasagna.
Can we point that out? Can we point out that the cat's overweight? Is that should be enough?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so I'm looking at Garfield in 2008 just to kind of get a sense of where it goes. And I mean, it gets a little more like, it gets weirder in as much as like, okay, Garfield's in a hammock. John forces him out of the hammock. Garfield slashes the hammock, and then John is awkwardly sort of like pinned inside the hammock, sticking into it as night falls. Like, we're getting to places where this isn't just cutesy stuff. Garfield is meant to chase a mouse, but ends up befriending it, and the mouse installs a putting green outside its hole. So Garfield's like, "Hey, can I play through?"
I wonder. It feels weird because I had never read any of it, so I'm like experiencing Garfield for the first time in 2022 as a 33-year-old, and I'm like, I don't think this is for me.
there's literally thousands of these. Okay, I got to read you my birthday, September 24th, 2008. So I turned 27 years old when this comic came out.
John year.
My John, right? Yeah, my John. Oh no, my John year.
Your John year.
Garfield is sitting at a computer, and he's clearly instant messaging. His username is Garf1, and he types meow meow meow. And Whiskers232 says mew mew mew.
Whoa.
Then Puss in Boots 113 says hiss, and Whiskers232 says hiss also.
Whoa.
And then Puss in Boots 113 says, this is all typed out. and Garfield says, these cat chat rooms can get pretty ugly.
That's
the joke.
True. Yeah. My bigger question is, like, we finally found, like, Garfield can type. Can we not teach him to read at this point?
Yeah, I mean, and why then doesn't Garfield just carry a tablet around and communicate directly with John about the things that he needs?
That's valid.
Doesn't that seem like a thing?
I guess it's because Garfield doesn't really want to talk to John. He seems pretty sick of him.
It's true. That is true.
So wait, can the other animals understand Garfield? Wait, so do the other animals talk to each other? Or is it like a thing where we only see thought bubbles for Garfield and we don't see thought bubbles for the other animals?
Oh no, I mean the other animals communicate the same way Garfield does. This is very much Odie. Odie doesn't talk because Odie just slobbers and barks. Odie is dogs, as far as Garfield is concerned, are subsentient.
Gotcha.
Would not pass Turing test.
Okay.
But yeah, like otherwise it sort of assumes that this is like a look who's talking scenario where all things that have thoughts like humans can communicate with one another, but not with the outside world.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is a deficit on humanity's part. We need to get more in tune with the collective unconscious, and then maybe we can have a quick little combo with Garfie. Is that what we called him? It's Friday
Garfie?
again?
Do we call him Garfie?
Friday again, Garfie baby!
That's it. Garfie baby.
Yes, we need to expand our minds, and that's why we're going to drop some LSD and do the MouthGuard report.
Yeah.
The MouthGuard report. Open wide.
Whoa! Is it kicking in for you guys yet?
Of the next 12 hours, we'll be talking about mouth guards.
Oh my gosh.
They call them mouth guards, but my mouth doesn't have anything treasure inside. Never mind. This is dumb. I don't have anything. I do have a mouth guard report. Magnolia, the puppy, is now tall enough to get up and grab things off of my nightstand.
Oh no.
So she got a hold of the mouth guard. She didn't do any damage. But it was potentially an adorable, like, way too big teeth sort of circumstance. Like, I kind of like, I want to have dentures available just so a child or puppy can get them by mistake, and then you get the photograph of an animal with a giant set of adult teeth.
I think that this dream is achievable. I think that we can make this happen for you.
I'm sure dentures wash up on the same beach as the Garfield phone, so we just have to go with a couple of pillowcases, bring back what we need. We're good to go.
I want one of them Garfs. My mouth guard report is I did try to double up like Chelsea suggested.
I was wondering.
They don't fit that way. Yeah, so I gotta pick one or the other.
Bummer.
Yeah, I've been picking the flimsier one because though I have chewed through it in the back, it still holds my front teeth together more closely than the other one. So I feel like I'm stuck.
That's a bummer.
It's a bridge too far.
Because bridges are dental work that you can get.
Yeah. You see what I did there.
I just personally like when people explain the joke. So I wanted to do that for our listeners.
So kind.
Chelsea, how's your mouth guard?
I'm just worried about getting my next mouth guard and it not fitting. I'm getting far enough in this mouth guard that I feel like my teeth are moving. But I feel like I'm not grinding. I don't want to go without it for fear of, I don't know. Should I record myself when I sleep? There are sleep apps. There are apps that I can use.
I think we should put it on the show. Next mouth guard.
And then you guys can hear like my teeth just making noises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right next to I do have my phone next to my pillow. Yeah, but I don't, that's mine. I'm just worried about my next mouth guard since I'm using my old mouth guard.
Will the cheeky people deliver?
No. Maybe.
Shit.
Not optimistic. Just love that you grind because you're anxious and now your mouth guard is causing you anxiety.
What doesn't cause me anxiety, really?
know,
Everything causes me anxiety. It's fine.
I mean, in fairness, it's the least anxious time to be alive. So I don't know what we're complaining about.
So
good point. I will just, you know what? I'm going to do what my mother tells me to do and just not worry about it. Don't stress out about it.
Oh my God.
Don't have anxiety. She cured me just
Have
by
you
letting me know.
Thought about just like letting it go.
Yeah.
Thinking about something else.
I think that's what I will do.
Good.
And I will not take the advice of my dentist and go see a therapist. I'm just gonna let it go and not let it bother me.
I think
like Elsa
will work.
So
I did
charming
use
snowman.
Oh God. Okay, I've got a lot of thoughts on Frozen too. We'll save that.
We can talk about the first
we can
Frozen.
Do the first Frozen.
We'll talk about the first thing that froze.
Winter's coming up. Ooh.
But I wanted to say I did record myself sleeping with one of those sleep apps for a little while because I've struggled with insomnia for years and years, and I was like trying to get to the bottom of it. And I learned a couple things. One, don't do it. Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Okay.
Well, I guess depending on how you sleep. And here's what I have learned, both from that recording and from like people who I have shared a bed with since then. I whimper in my sleep as though terrified, and I also like whisper, like it's straight out of a horror movie. And this is what I captured when I used that app, was just me in the middle of the night, like, I don't know if you can pick that up, but it was just like
no,
it was just like sibilance, just like little s's and like consonants. So you couldn't make out any words, but you could like tell that somebody was whispering. And I was like, this is the most scared I have ever been. And I'm reasonably sure that it's my voice I have captured, but I didn't get video. So maybe it was like in The Empty Man where the creepy possessed person like whispers real close up in your ear. I don't know. Don't record yourself sleeping. It's very scary.
So what you're saying is that your mouth guard keeps the little demon inside you inside.
Yeah.
It's literally a guard.
It's my talisman. It's my totem.
That was the Mouth Guard Report.
The Mouth Guard Report. Open wide.
Are you guys ready to play a game?
Always.
Yeah? How about a little Garfield themed round of I see what you did there.
Hey.
We got this. I'm feeling very stressed about this.
We're gonna have a great time. There's what I told you over text that I believe you will get half of these. I really do. I gave you enough to go on, and we've talked about some of this stuff already now. So maybe we've Googled things in the interim. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Chelsea, you get the honors. Number 1. This fictional serial killer, known for providing baskets of lotion, probably hated Mondays, and he's colliding with the famous comedian / actor who voices Garfield in the movies.
Oh God. Buffalo Bill Murray.
You got it. You see what I did there. Very good.
I had Buffalo Bill, but I was thinking, I know what I did. I was thinking of who played John.
Breckenmeyer.
Voice. Yeah, Breckenmeyer.
Yeah. Garfield's voice in the cartoon, Lorenzo Music.
That's a beautiful name.
That's a nice
Isn't it great? Literally has a ring to it.
I did not know that Bill Murray voiced Garfield.
Yeah.
In how many things?
In the movies?
There's like 3 movies.
Oh, is it all 3?
Is he gonna do the voice in this reboot?
Maybe. I mean, I feel like it's a real easy money for Bill Murray.
Might as well.
And now you're sort of connected to it for an audience of, I guess, child Garfield fans. See, this is what's weird. Somehow You entered life in the trough when Garfield just wasn't connecting with people your age. Like, it caught me because I was a newspaper reader as a kid.
Yeah, that's weird.
And well, yeah, I had to check my stocks, and then I had to read
I'm
comics.
imagining you in like a
Calm
little
down a
suit,
little bit.
like you dress for breakfast.
Yeah. My blonde hair slicked back with mousse in it.
You've got your
Are
little.
you Richie Rich?
Your
Is
reader
that what I just
glasses?
learned?
You're doing the crossword, and then you treat yourself with Garfield.
Number 2, Kelly.
Yeah.
This Garfield knockoff actually precedes him by 5 years, debuting in 1973. And he's become a Boston mailman prone to bloviating on topics he doesn't really understand.
Nope. Nope.
Do you know of another cartoon cat that's similar to Garfield?
No, I assume that it's the one that you have mentioned a couple times during this episode.
I don't think I actually have mentioned in this.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And it was a comic strip cat or like a cartoon TV show cat?
Comic strip, and I mean there was a TV show also of this, but yeah, this was a comic strip cat. I do not know why I'm
asking questions. This is not anywhere in my brain.
You're buying time, like on
Boston Mailman.
A Boston mailman. Yeah, he's Boston mailman.
Is that Ben Affleck?
Who's prone to bloviating on topics he doesn't really understand. He also spends a lot of time in a bar, and that bar's name is Cheers.
Oh no, no. Over to Chelsea. I don't have any of this in my head.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. Oh,
I do know that like the like alcoholic pair of character. I guess was everybody in Cheers?
Yeah.
Is it 100% in the bar
like every day?
They're all in the bar. Yeah, it's
I
the
just
only
know
set.
that they were another set of people that I thought were solidly middle-aged who were in their 30s.
Oh yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people looked old when they were young.
Yeah.
Now we look young, and you're both young still, but I'm old.
There's not that much difference between us.
I'm solidly middle-aged at now 41 years old, so.
Nah, you're going to make it more than 82.
I don't know. With the way the world's going.
People think that the first person to make it to 200 has already been born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, maybe it will be.
Maybe you're only like quarter aged.
I can't wait to be 200.
If I have to live till 200, no.
If they can crack how to keep me around this sort of sense of feeling and health, great. I'll live to 200. But look, if it gets worse than this, I'm not interested.
I'm already
it's
over
only
it.
Perpetually worse.
I've done been over it. No, I'm
and this
out.
I see what you did there question is putting you over the edge.
I'm opting out.
Chelsea, what do you got? You got a guess?
Is there a hint?
Yeah. The friend of the bar going mailman is Norm.
Oh fuck, that's what I thought the name was. That's not
and the mailman is played by John Ratzenberger, who played
him in my head.
I believe he played the pig in Toy Story.
So I need help with the cat because I obviously was wrong on Norm.
So this cat shares a name with a Bronte sister romantic lead from Wuthering Heights.
Kelly, do you know
so many things? Here's the trouble is you learned all of the stuff and then the facts stopped existing for the rest of us to learn them. So like you hungry hippoed the facts.
I'm like a black hole of information and everything that I've taken on has left the zeitgeist.
Yeah, sorry. No, Chelsea, I don't know this either. I'm just thinking, okay.
Wuthering Heights is a love story between Catherine, who is wealthy, and a young
Heathcliff.
You see what I did there? Okay.
Was Heathcliff? Wait, what? Is Heathcliff one of them?
Okay. Heathcliff is the name of the cat that is a knockoff, air quotes, of Garfield.
He's Clifford? Clifton? What is a name of a man?
We're really just looking for the last name now, so you're probably not going to get it.
Oh, I definitely will.
Because his first name is Cliff. I was going for Heathcliff Clavin. So Cliff Clavin is the bloviating mailman, and Heathcliff is the knockoff. I'm going to give you both a point for that.
Just because I
don't think either of us deserve a point at all.
Heathcliff is the one, like when you think about the trope of a cat like eating a fish and pulling out the skeleton. That's Heathcliff, right?
That's Heathcliff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks like Garfield, but his ears are more triangular, pointy. And he otherwise like almost looks exactly like contemporary Garfield, just more like a snowman. He's like just more round balls rather than Garfield's a little more shapely, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I see him.
Heathcliff looks like if you bought Garfield on Wish.
That's accurate. Number
3, Chelsea. Surely Garfield is Jim Davis's large and important work of art, also called this. So a large and important work of art is also called.
Got it.
The same might not be said for its Garfield and Friends counterpart, farm-based cartoon. So what's the name of the farm-based cartoon that was the other half of Garfield and Friends? I don't know if you looked it up. You might have looked it up while we were talking about it.
I think I have it on another tab, but I did not.
Wait,
you can look. You can look at what the name is.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
No cheating. Say it again. Say it again.
Surely Garfield is Jim Davis's large and important work of art, also called this.
Yeah.
The same might not be said for its Garfield and Friends counterpart, farm-based cartoon.
I'm going to throw it over to Kelly.
I've got Magnum Opus.
Yeah. Magnum Opus. You see what I did there?
Opus Capalian. Garfield and Friends. The farm-based counterpart. I don't know. I did not look up the farm.
That's okay. The name of the farm show was U.S. Acres.
Oh.
So it's Magnum Op U.S. Acres or Magnum Opus Acres. You see what I did there?
All right. Okay. Okay. I'm like writing down the answers too. Like maybe if I study
in case it comes up again,
I'll be able to like figure it out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep. After we get to 100 episodes, we're gonna spend 3 hours just going through old questions.
Oh, thank God!
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, so you're gonna love that.
We have them categorized in an Excel. So
I'm just saying it now so that everybody knows how and why I died.
Oh. Chelsea, we got to start making like flashcards.
So I'm giving Kelly a point there. So you're tied at 2 points right now.
Oh shit.
Kelly, number 4.
Yeah.
This is the name of John's dog, whom Garfield tolerates despite epic slobber. Now tattooed alongside Sideshow Bob's chest piece that he claims is German for the Bart. The.
Okay, so it's OD.
Uh-huh.
God, I don't even know German enough to like make a joke. OD. Chelsea, have you got anything? And it's the Bart the.
That's Sideshow Bob claims that is what the tattoo translates as. Yeah.
The Bart the.
See, here's the trouble: is I've also never seen Simpsons.
Really?
So I'm like, I don't even know what the jokes are. Like, I don't even know.
I feel like I feel like it'd be a fart. So like das fart das or something, but that doesn't feel. Die Bart die. Oh, die Bart die.
You got it. You saw what I did there. You're both getting a point because Kelly said Odie.
Oh, sorry, Kelly.
Says die Bart die.
Oh. So do they have like is there like a lot of animosity between those characters?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Does it actually say die Bart die? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Sideshow Bob attempted to kill Bart no less than like 7 or 8 times over the run of the series.
Okay.
Like he appears. Mm-hmm. He's played by Kelsey Grammer, also of Cheers.
Got it.
And the spinoff Frasier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we got a Frasier fan in the house.
We heard him. He loves it. Woo!
Oh, because you're in Seattle. That's why he's down for Frasier.
Oh,
yeah.
No, he just really loves tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
He is definitely.
Who doesn't? So you both got 3 points. Congratulations. You both won. I see what you did there.
Or lost.
It's hard
we
to
mostly
know.
lost.
What's the eyelash situation though?
Yeah,
he's behind the computer now, so I don't know. He is rubbing his face on everything. It looks like he does have whiskers above his eyes, so those might count as eyelashes.
Are they lashes or brows at that point?
They might be brows.
Mouse has old man brows and ears.
Okay, Petty, can you look in the camera?
Yeah, Petty.
Oh, no, don't just walk in front of the... Okay, now I can't see you guys.
Okay, well, we'll get back to you, listeners.
He's about to start rubbing on the microphone, so you guys are going to get some...
There's a tail in the shot.
Oh.
There's an eldritch tail has passed through the camera lens. Chelsea, are you okay? It looks huge from this forced perspective. Do we have any final thoughts on this first Garfield or Garfield in general?
I did. So I do want to talk about how I was trying to compare the same page with the comics. The funny pages is that also has like the crossword and everything. And it just reminds me of like if I look at TikTok and then I play Wordle.
Oh.
So I wanted to talk about how I've just taken away reading things that are little snippets of funny. And now I watch them as short form videos. And I still try to do crosswords and Wordle and some Sudoku sometimes, but they're all apps now, and I don't do them on paper.
Yeah, it's interesting how that itch like remains, right? We're just scratching the same itch in a different way.
Mm-hmm. What's the next generation of itch scratchers? Wait,
man,
no, that's that right?
This brings up a terrifying reality, which is that like when you got the paper, you can only scratch that itch once a day.
Right.
Yep.
And now we're itchy all the goddamn time.
That's true.
So we're constantly scratching. And that just makes me think that this has something to do with the heroin or goofballs or whatever drug parable you want to throw in there. But we're crawling. We're crawling with the content meth, and we need more. Kelly, do you have any final Garfield thoughts?
People liked this.
Yeah, and they still do.
I know. Yeah, I guess they do. Yeah. I think I just missed the boat. I think it's not doing it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to like think of something.
Let's find a new comic for you. What about Kathy? Is she the one that's like Ack?
Yeah, she's Ack, and similarly obsessed. It's a weight obsessed comic.
Damn.
Oh, you know what I did read? I did read that John dates Nancy in a crossover comic at some point.
Oh,
I
weird.
always thought Nancy was a child.
Also, like
Nancy's an entire comic.
Nancy's like an anarcho-communist, so I don't know what. Like, she's not gonna be happy with John.
Maybe I misread something.
Let me read you the one for my birthday from this year, from 2022.
Yeah,
because it's on this website that has all the Garfield. Garfield's laying on his back, and the first panel, his thought bubble says, "I'm trying my best." In the middle panel, he's continuing to lay on his back, and he's not thinking about anything at all. And in the third panel, he's still laying on his back, and he thinks, "My best is pretty easy."
That's nice. See, I get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't read enough, it looks like.
You probably need to check into the newer existential crisis Garfield stuff that's coming out. It's real big. Jim Davis is deep into nihilism right now, so
yeah,
aren't we all?
It's my nihilism era.
Let's talk Debs on this first Garfield.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it 2 Debs, because while I like Garfield as a concept, this is not particularly creative. Like, it's not creatively written. It's not interestingly drawn. Like, it's not propulsive in any sort of way. It's sort of like a cheat to just be like, hey, so for the first comic, here's just us looking at you, telling you that we're a comic and we're going to entertain you later, but not today. The joke is we're not going to do it now.
Yeah, and it's also a copy of the first John comic, so it's not even like original in the universe. in the Garfield universe. Yeah. I think I'm gonna agree with you on 2 Debs. Did you hear how I stuttered and I was like, should it just be 1? No, I'm giving it the 2 because I understand the cultural significance. I think probably Garfield as a whole gets more Debs. But this first comic, that's a 2 Deb. And it's a pity. It's a pity too.
Oh man, you've been handing out pity Deb.
Listen, it's because I'm in a bad place in my life. So it's hard to enjoy things. Oh, Chelsea, how many Debs?
I would. Well, following that up, mine's probably going to be a 2, but I'm more optimistic about it because it introduced me to Norm Nat, which I am now partially obsessed with, and I'm going to keep reading more of it. So 2, almost a 3 if I was going for what I've learned from this experience, but 2 if I'm just going for the content alone.
Yeah.
Do you want to do like a 2.5 and make it
a little bit, honestly?
So
mine's a non-pity. I don't know.
Repeating as the average.
So we'll say 2 Debs around.
Yeah.
2 Debs. Sorry,
2 Debs.
Garf.
It's debilitated. This one is. Well, hey. So yeah, 2 Debs all around. Great. We did the first Garfield. We did it as Chelsea said last time. We did it because Garfield's orange and November's orange.
Oh, that's
Welcome to November.
Yeah.
So next time we are going to do the
first pumpkin pie, kind of. First pumpkin dessert experiment.
Yeah. We found a recipe on the internet about the way that maybe original settlers in America would have made a pumpkin dessert by just cooking fucking milk and sweet shit inside a pumpkin and then eating it, scooping it out like brains. So we're gonna try. We're each listeners. We're each going to try to make this, and then we're gonna eat it on the air. And possibly vomit on the air.
There's a good chance if I think too much about eggs, and this is mostly eggs, I will throw up.
Ooh, girl, you're making the custardy one.
Yeah. Okay. Get excited, get ready.
Well, good luck.
I'm making the custardy one too, so technically it's joint custardy.
We're just always seeing what you're doing there.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get tired of me real fast.
Even when I like it, I sound dejected, and that's purely muscle memory from I see what you did there.
So, listeners, we'll be back in a fortnight, 2 weeks,
2 weeks
with the first pumpkin pie.
Yay!
Plugs,
Yay.
Ladies, do some plugging. Let's do some plugging, buddies.
We will be on. In addition to our usual podcast of Never Show the Monster, which is about horror movies, we will be guests on a podcast this month, I believe, called Church Jams Now. It is a podcast hosted by an old friend of ours where a group of music nerds discuss like early aughts and 90s like alternative emo style music that is Christian. And we are doing an episode about Evanescence and their first album, Fallen, which is a bop. Not to spoil it.
I have been listening to it nonstop for an entire week. So
I watched an hour of concert footage last night. Yeah, I love it.
And Never Show the Monster. Everybody should listen to that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you like this podcast, listener, be a buddy. Subscribe and rate it and review it. We got a couple more ratings recently. We're at like 30 ratings now.
Yes.
And someone said jokingly, they gave us 5 stars, but they said something effective like, they gave these knuckleheads a podcast? Yeah,
fair.
that's pretty good.
A fair point.
Pretty good. Fair point. I know. As if anybody gave us anything. We fought tooth and nail for this. Not one of us is a legacy in the podcasting game.
No.
Bootstraps, baby. But yeah, rate and review this. Also follow us at Debut Buddies on Twitter. We're gonna be sharing some stuff. We're gonna be having some fun. We're already having fun, even if the account is mostly talking to Kelly about funny jokes she's saying.
Yeah, I got a lot of time on my hands. Come hang out.
Yeah. If you got time on your hands, Twitter is a really good and safe place to spend that time.
Oh yeah, enriching.
You'll never learn anything weird or gross or naked or seditious. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's all good.
If you like our theme music, you should check out the music of Michael J. O'Connor. Visit michaeljoconnor.bandcamp.com. He has a record out. It's so pretty. It just might kill you.
Oh.
You can pick that up. You can download it. You can pay him. You can also probably stream much of it for free if you're a monster. And if you are, never show yourself to anyone.
Never show yourself.
You're going to disappoint 2/3 of the buddies here. I don't mind a peek at the monster now and again. I'll take a peek.
A peek is okay. A peek is okay.
If you want to buy a neighbor, a friend, someone, a November book gift, you can buy my book. It's called One Person Can't Make a Difference. And it's a cyberpunk noir conspiracy laden little adventure. It's great. It's a lot of fun. People are reviewing it, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I don't know at time of recording, but I think reviews are positive.
Oh, yay!
and both of the other buddies really loved the copies that they read.
Yes,
for sure. Mine's still in the mail.
So is mine. I'm mad.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's November.
Oh, at this time, yes, read it. It was great.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I loved it.
I've been traveling, so I have not made it home.
I love recording the future because we're everywhere all at once, like that movie.
I heard
Everything Everywhere.
It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie.
Yet. I'm excited about the pumpkin.
I am too.
I'm forcing you guys to finally bake or make something, and then we're gonna have to talk about it. This is gonna be an interesting one. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be really cool. I am stoked. What doesn't kill
Just
you
like
might just give you food poisoning.
For sure. Yeah, every time.
Well, buddies, this was fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye, buddies.
Bye, buddies.